All right, let's do a quick joke, and then we'll go into this. This is kind of a long one. It's still a political one here. So sorry about that. It's kind of like a half rant. I just say that I'm just basically saying what I see kind of happening in some areas. I'm not saying it's everywhere. And it just seems funny to me to just kind of say it, right? It's like, it's because it seems odd. Okay, here it is. So let me tell you what I mean. So I'm still confused about this turnabout of the super progressive people regarding the Tesla electric cars, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've been following it a little bit. It's weird to me. Now I admit, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed or the brightest light bulb in the bunch. So it may just be me, but I could have sworn that only like just a few seconds ago, maybe a couple months ago, owning a Tesla was like a left-wing virtue signal, wasn't it? Particularly to the environmentalists who want to stop the use of fossil fuels, electric cars not using gas, and therefore it was virtuous to buy one, right? To the super progressive, especially environmental, kind of progressive people. But now, due to the clearly slanderously labeled hand movement, they now claim Elon Musk is clearly planning to like resurrect, I don't know, Hitler or something. He's going to resurrect Adolf Hitler himself to like rule the world, which they seem to have come about because of an awkward hand gesture. And so now, not just Elon Musk, but also Tesla car dealerships, as well as, and this is the really strange bit, every owner of a Tesla are now, they're a bunch of fascists who deserve a good thumping by anyone who feels like thumping somebody. Go ahead and thump a therefore, like the same dude or dudette that bought the Tesla, like 2 months ago, most likely in part as like a virtue signal to the left, it's all of a sudden they're now like a fascist who random people on the street should totally assault, or at least they should key the car or something like that. I mean, that seems to be the messaging, like in some areas, on the super progressive side of things. Like, but I feel like this is what's like. I feel like if you're a radical progressive, randomly attacking like Tesla electric car owners, the likelihood of attacking a fellow radical progressive Democrat is fairly high, because it's quite likely that they bought the car over 2 months ago at a time when buying an electric car was a left-wing virtue signal. That's why they bought it. I mean, they may even quite possibly turn out to be a Jewish radical progressive Democrat who bought the car as a virtue signal, considering a lot of Jewish people are progressive Democrats, or at least they used to be. I mean, but the mob is like, no, I don't care. I don't care if the Tesla driver is a 120-year-old Holocaust survivor who was just borrowing the car from her super progressive environmentalist granddaughter who bought the car herself over 5 years ago to prove she's totally down with the cause of being a super crazy progressive environmentalist. They deserve to be taken down for being like a Third Reich revivalist because of Elon's awkward hand gesture at one point. Because like they didn't turn on a dime as soon as the Twitter mob or wherever the mobs are located this time online, wherever the mob was located, they changed directions. And these people didn't turn on a dime fast enough. They should have totally ceremoniously burned their Tesla over like a week ago at this point. Over like a week ago, the message went out on the thumb boards or something. Procrastination like that has consequences, man. It really seems like an odd position to take, even for the radical progressive types. It's just a little too far-fetched. Like, even if you had a really nice, young, healthy Labrador retriever, that one's just a little too far-fetched. even for the healthy. It's, you know, I'm sure it's just me though. I just don't get it, man. It's like whatever. You know, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed or the brightest light bulb in the bunch, but I feel like I am the brightest tool in the shed and the sharpest light bulb in the bunch. And I feel like being a relatively sharp light bulb, at least compared to the other light bulbs, should be worth something. You know, as the brightest tool in the shed, I'm easier to find, if less effective at actually doing stuff. You know, maybe as a relatively bright shovel, I can at least be held to illuminate the sharper tools available in the shed, which is still helpful because like you could lean me up against the useful tools, making them easier, you know, to locate.